Alright, the name of today's show is How to Cook Eggs Like a Boss. And the idea is that we are going to cook breakfast on the cheap. And that's going to consist of scrambled eggs, some cheese, and some spinach. So, and then homemade coffee as well. So what I'm going to do, try to keep this quick as possible and uncut, show you that it's easy to do in just a few minutes. I got my water boiling, I've got my mug preheated, so I'm going to pour out that water. And you think that's a good idea because nobody likes to have cold coffee as soon as you make it. I'm using a drip pour over filter, $2. You can get one of those at the hardware store or the grocery store or Walgreens. Straight up coffee from Trader Joe's, $5 or $10 for that. Pour your hot water right over that guy. Let's not make this too complicated, you know what I'm saying? So we get our coffee going. While that's going, I'm gonna get some other things started. First of all, we're gonna do some spinach before we get to the eggs. So that's a little too much oil. You only need like a dab of oil, and then I just use my fingers. Run that around the pan, gear pan, nice, good and oiled. Okay? Then you want to take whatever veggies you got. It could be bell peppers, it could be spinach, it could be mushrooms. Sometimes I even do some sausage. But if I do sausage, then I will always want to cook those in a separate pan and get that guy going before I have my eggs ready to go. So what I'm going to do, find a bowl while the spinach is sizzling. I'm going to crack 3 eggs. 3 eggs is a pretty good portion. Especially these guys. These are 3 large, organic, cage-free, healthy chickens that run around on the farm. You'll also notice that we got some music going, all about that Gypsy Kings on Pandora. Alright, so 3 eggs. Like I said, cheap eggs are $1.50, but the good ones, they don't have all the crap in them, so go for that. $4 more. Okay, I'm going to add a dab of milk, just like a little splash. What that does, it makes your eggs more fluffy. Chicks dig it. So scramble those guys up. That's all you gotta do. Just whip. Alright. At this point, probably need some more water in the coffee. Making a mess. Alright, you can hear that. Oh, let's see that. I need my favorite spatula. Okay, so you can hear the spinach going. So all I gotta do is, you don't even need oil for spinach. It's like kind of crazy. You can put a ton of spinach in a pan and it'll just sizzle down to a little bit. So before I get ready to throw my eggs on there, it's all about timing here. You want to have your cheese grated and ready to go. So if you're on the cheap, like I'm saying, get the block cheese because it's so much cheaper than the pre-cut. You know? However much cheese you want. I mean, I usually like to make a more complicated omelet or scramble, where I go with some more veggies like bell peppers or mushrooms and stuff like that. Also, keep your salt, pepper ready to go, and keep your hot sauces out so when you're ready to actually eat, you got that ready. So before I pop my eggs in the pan, I'm going to prepare my bread because I want my bread to come out exactly at the right time when my eggs are ready. So I'm going to take these guys, pop in the toaster. Alright, now we're ready. We got that guy sizzling. Pan's all nice and oiled. I tend to like having a really hot pan, so you'll see I'm on pretty medium-high heat. Some people say that's not good for eggs, but what do they know? I like it cooked fast. And then scrambling is easy. It's just get yourself a nice pan and a nice spatula. Just chop that baby up. At this point, I also like to add some salt. I got some crazy good salt that's wicked good salt. Salt and pepper sometimes. You can even add cheese at this point, but you know, I tend to just like to put that on top so it's a nice little melted cheese on the top of my scrambled eggs. But you can mix in anything you want at this point. You see where I'm going with this. Alright, now here's where you use your own discretion. I don't like runny eggs, so I tend to cook my eggs a little bit more well done, so you could say. Some people like big chunks, some people like little chunks, so you can chop it up as much as you want to. This would be a great time to add my cheese. Turn up the heat a little bit. Got my cheese all pre-cut, pre-sliced. Do something like that, spread it out, use those small slices so that it gets nice and melted on the top. Alright, now you don't want to let it sit there too long or else the bottom is going to get fried. If you like the bottom of your eggs fried, go for it. There you go, something like that. Depending on when you put the cheese on, you might end up with a better melted situation. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pop on some salt and pepper. Check on my coffee. I'm a big fan of Tapatio. You can see also got these other kinds of salsas. You know, any kind of salsa is good on top of eggs. So if you got guests coming over, you know, you want to make a quick, simple breakfast, something like this. There you go, got my cup is preheated here. Dump that guy. Got my coffees ready. I mean, you could just go straight into the cup with one of those pour overs, but you know, I'm into having a little bit of leftover. There you go. Add a little sugar. I tend to like my brown sugar, so go with that. And then go for my creamer. In this case, I'm using soy creamer because if I don't go through cream fast enough, this stuff lasts way longer. You know, if I'm not home drinking coffee every day, cream's gonna go bad in like 3 days. So any second now, my bread should be popping up. Got a nice English muffin here today. Pop some butter on there, and bam, you got breakfast in like 8 minutes. 8.2, son.